everyone. Oh, wait a minute. I'm too low here, right? Let's see what's happening. Oh, 07, oh, 07, oh, 07. 1 second. All right. Okay. Making adjustments. All right. Okay. We're in the game, man. Let's go. Maybe 65 is love. Oh, 07. We're at the Pyro Gateway. Check, check, check. Microphone, check, check, check. All right. Are we coming through? Are we coming through? Yes. Are we coming through? Hello, hello, hello. Let's see here. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Okay, here we go. Can't hear you, super low. Oh, 07 Bender? Yeah, I think I am super low here. Okay, let's see here. What's happening? Okay, it's getting louder and louder and louder. Okay, and ooh, super loud. um, you solve one problem, and another one comes up. Let's see here. Um. All right. Okay. How are we here? And that's not too bad. And okay. Hello. 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 All right. Okay. Hello. 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 Yes, yes, yes. Okay. All right. And okay, mid is mid and higher and higher. Okay, I'll hold Pat there for a minute. All right. Okay. You need more power. Power. Yeah, okay. Oh gosh. Okay. Don't want that threshold to open there. Okay. Holy smokes, man. This is not going to be an audio stream. Okay, let's see here. All right. Okay. Oh, that's super loud. Super loud. All right. It sounds like I'm farther away from the mic. Not now, right? Not now. And let me check the inputs. But yeah, I was able to bypass the faulty 3.5. Okay, let's look at the Okay. All right. And we check Windows. Windows. Checking you out now. Okay, look at that. Oh, look at that sound coming through like a monster. Hell yeah. All right. Let's make it happen, Captain. So, where are we? I think we're about to go into Pyro. Not Pyro, Nix. Oh yeah, '07. Lagski, as known as Lagski. So what's happening is CIG's their ongoing efforts are all about getting it optimized so that the game is much better in the sense of it has a similar pace with the other systems, mainly like Stanton. Right now, you heard the meme expression of Levski is currently Lagski, right? We get that. But this is just them implementing everything, getting it in, seeing where the cases of what are the game breaking aspects. And then from there, dialing it in. Good news is we're getting a patch. The later, the better, because it gives them more time to strengthen the effectiveness of the patch. But I think when it's all said and done, by the time they get to live, it's going to be in a place where it's more familiar, closely. You know what? I talked about this. These one-directional asteroids that were dynamic in their movement. Man, the next step would be, I would say, meteor showers. That would be nice. Let me just spin back to the station real quick. Oh shit! Those asteroids, woo! They scare you, man. Nope, I don't want to go there. Come out. Go back to Levski. I want to realign to the jump gate. Okay, Nix Gateway. Yeah, it's always been, but yeah, from what we've encountered from the past to present day right now, right? I think they really want to leverage what was called dynamic server meshing. I think it's called advanced server meshing now. FINRA 07. Yeah, I think they want to leverage some iteration of advanced server meshing. We did see where, currently DirectX 11 is getting to the point where it's so long in the tooth that it must go away. We're seeing the advantages of when there was the test for the tech preview for engineering the usage of Vulkan, and the balancing between GPU, CPU made a difference. I think they're going to keep Vulkan on the engineering testing side. And once engineering / Vulkan is ready, I think then it'll be integrated into what we have right now. But there's moves, or there has to be processes to get this up to snuff as best as possible. Then it makes sense to merge the two. Well, that's their method of operation. It seems to be, because if it wasn't, you would see them dropping Vulkan in just to try to get as many frame rate numbers up or balance, But right now they're leaving it as it is and letting the teams go in and, you know, clean up, optimize, stabilize what they can on their end. So, but if we happen to see Vulkan in this next build, that would be a great thing. It would be surprising. It would be surprising, you know, because they haven't introduced it yet to what they're trying to do with the previous patches. We didn't see Vulkan, but I'm sure it will help to some extent. But a lot of player counts that I think hopefully they are taking an account of that data and leveraging that information into what they need for the advanced server meshing tech. But right now it's just continue to play, track, report to IC issue council what is a game stopping bug, or any and all bugs really. But we're getting there. Why did it go to wave 1 so quickly without the applied optimizations? I think it has everything to do with the advanced server meshing tech. You need the numbers, period. You need edge cases of, okay, what is the average client we're dealing with? And from there, let's get a balance with that number of your average players and what their machine archetypes are, right? And try to meet them so that the game is playable. All right, we're going into Levski, y'all. Levy Lev. Miner's Delight, supposedly. I was not able to trade with the, get the refinery going in the previous patch, so it would be a good opportunity to see if it's turned on or if it's buggy, whatever the case. But there was no functionality. But that wasn't the focus of the test anyway, so I can see why it wasn't functioning. But yeah, IEE is on the way. Near the 3rd week of this month. So 2 weeks away. That gives them time to work on the patch and continue to dial it in, right? So report those bugs. Explore and find those bugs as well. But yeah, they were recent progress with the ships that are on the way, new ships. Okay, here we are. Where am I, man? Am I in Stanton? I send it. Yeah, they go through a lot of safety protocols. I remember I met a gentleman. He worked at a car manufacturer, and he talked about how there's so many protocols and hoops that they have to jump through in order to pass and validate those particular parts, those safety features. And to some extent, he, pretty much complained that, hey, it hampers a lot of things, and they have to, they have to combine all those things, those disjointed parts, and bring them all together, and they have to work cohesively. So yeah, it's a lot that goes into that. And more often than not, they don't work well together. Hence, you, the buyer, will be the test dummy. No, we as the buyers will be test dummies. And so this is why you do your research and find out JD, whatever, JD Power. You look through them to see who has that process best, who does the best process. Hence why you see, the pricing paid for according, you have your prices based on its performance, its quality of build, yeah, and it is what it is, right, man? But yeah, you have the top tier 3 type of manufacturers. When you take out the performance luxury cars, you're talking about the Toyotas of the world, the Hondas, the Subarus, right? Quantum interdiction, man. I might be in trouble, dude. Somebody's pulling some crap. I am moving fast, dude. Interdiction field. Is that does that line represents the field? I'm gunning, man. They're gonna have to catch me, whoever the hell it is. Let me look behind me. Oh, I see some people. Yep, they're behind me. They faded out. Is that line a radius? Is it telling me that's the radius field? I don't know. Possibly. That I have to escape. Let's see. Okay, I'm back online. Probably not. That could be a graphic anomaly. But that would be cool to see the radius that you're in from the quantum interdiction field, right? And you have to fast track out of that, boost out of that track or that radius. Okay, I'm in the Lev. Or as you would say, Lagski. Oh yeah, it's popping in. It's pushing a high-end rig here. So yeah, this is definitely okay. Pedro with the concerto. Let's hear him. Give praise to the mighty Pedro Camacho with the concerto there. There it is. Levski landing zone, or Lagski. As Bender stated it, Lagski. But Bender's licking his chops. He said, "Oh, those rocks could be mineable, potentially." Yeah, so they're going for it, man. Give them credit for the effort, and now they just have to finish the job. Just go in and the Grand Barter itself it has immense lag in it. As you're starting to see now. Yeah, you're seeing the rig that's one of the best in the business, and it pushes it. I work with 128 gigs right here, and you're seeing the result of that. It's like, no, not good enough, bro. Not good enough. Yeah, this is the spine into Lagski. This is like, stop saying that, man. Pisses me off.
Hangars open and the flight path clear. Go ahead and launch. Right up. There you go. All set.
Idris. And request complete. They're Pedro knocked it out of the box. I suspect there's going to be a lot of crashing, possibly. Maybe there's a reverse lane through the spline. You get on and it carries your ship, it locks your ship, and you just cascade on one side of direction. A two-way street, basically. If they catch too much of the of crashes, there it is. The Lagski collision materials. Yes, lots of materials. But you will be a great candidate for salvage. Beautiful Concerto, man. Oh shit. Lag. Let me bring my throttle back a little bit. There's my hangar. Okay, there I am. They just have to get this optimization in. I'm sure they're discussing whether to hit it with another server.
Hey, yeah. So I had to give your spot to someone else.
No, you're not.
I'm
no,
sorry,
you're not.
But I thought you were gonna land quicker.
Yeah, you're right. Whatever. I'm in here. I'm in here. Beautiful Concerto, man. Beautiful Concerto. This makes you remember the days of SC, right? Those early days. And say, look how far they've come. But they've made full circle they've come full circle in a bad way. Chris is like, cut it out. Yeah, I'm hearing that Chris himself jumped in the game with excitement, I'm sure, of looking at it himself. I heard he was in a Polaris. He was in a Popo, and I think his name is Lord Dread or Dread Pirate Roberts. Dread Pirate, something of that nature. And that's his moniker in game. All right, yo, you see I'm getting artifacts here too. I did update my driver. I may need to make some adjustments to it. But you know what though, our Area 18 is my home, but I remember purchasing, the hanger modules, and it's on buyback for some reason. I don't know. But as we see the different styles, this is the AVG style of hanger, the asteroid rock hanger. Trying to do my best impersonation of Batman, the Batcave, and the lighting is improved. I really dig this. I love this right here where it's not your hanger services are not cookie cutter to the other systems that we see for like the Area 18. It's totally different, makeup.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System. Your vehicle has been moved to our stock.
Yeah, you can see the performance issues, but Captain Stogie, good afternoon. I love the metallic doors in their space station. These doors, you have these same exact doors. It gives you the feel that it is industrial and worn. I like that feel. It gives that distinction of where you are. This is the customs area. You see a lot of people around. They're here active, but it's hammering the servers, which gives CIG a lot to do. As to making those fixes, those corrections, those stability calls, and their coding. But it has to scale. It has to scale, and it has to be able to scale automatically. Let me go pay tribute to Anthony Tanaka here. Anthony wanted to take a break, and they said no, and he's like, I'm taking a break.
Let's go, people. Move it.
And Anthony said no, not today. Throwing down tribute to Anthony. Little kid was brave, man. Little kid was brave. Said no. That was the beginning of the end for the Messers. No more. Beautiful music. But yeah, you can see it's not to say they pushed it too early. You need to bring it out. You need to dial things in and hone it based on the technologies or the newer technologies you're gonna utilize. And this is that part of the transparency that we like to, that we so often tell CIG there's no that you need more transparency. Well, this is very transparent. Very transparent. They're going to say, here you go. It functions. We need to optimize it. Patches on the way. Message of the day says, patches on the way. Now we got to see where these patches really make count of taking on this task, this hard task, this complex task of optimizing things. And I think it will speak wonders on all the areas going forward, from Castra to Terra to potentially Magna that's out there, home of Drake. But it's, don't want to overstate the obvious. We see it. And we see it all in its glory. But could you live here? Could this be your home? Very industrial, though. It's worn. I like that feeling of it's been here. Utilitarian, a little below that, I guess, or just not up to date. Oh, and it crashed. Oh, and it crashed. Okay. Is there a patch out there? Let's see. I hope there's a patch. But message of the day, Freeudger. I'll just go ahead and paste it in chat. Oh, I can't post it. First there will be a new 4.4 PTU build for Wave 1 with the potential for more waves later this evening. Yeah, we're going to need it. Hammer those servers. Second is an engineering tech preview for Iwakati that we intend on leaving up over the weekend. That's engineering. That will be engineering. Yep. And further iterations of Vulkan. Vulkan is attached to engineering. We don't have it for 4.4 yet. So I'm doing a verification. 661. Yep, that's still the same patch. 1063. Okay, yeah, it's the same patch. Same patch. I'm just going to do a verification. I need to, what I'm going to do, let me go ahead and clear my shaders cache. I'm going to do that for this. I think I can do it right from the launcher too. We're going to settings, clear launcher cache. Yep. Proceed. Indeed. I'm going to peep in there and see if it's still there. App data, local. Yeah, it's still there. I see a bunch of folders, but that was for the launcher, so. 07 Robert Emery. 8660. Good afternoon. How are you? Welcome. Welcome to Lagski. I got a bunch of temp files in here too. I'm gonna get those, get rid of those as well. Right. Temp files cleaned up. All right. It wants me to log in again. Don't mind. All right, signing in. Typo in my password. Okay, here we go. I have a authenticator that I have to acknowledge. It sucks, but keeps things going well. Two-step authentication, I recommend that. Go. Authenticating. Uh-oh. Typoed that. Okay, here we go. There's. Oh, come on now. This is right. Okay, here we go. All right, we are in, baby. Okay. All right, back to verification. Holy smokes, driving. Be hands-free. Just listen. Okay. All right. Yeah. So Robert. Yeah. We did get the Wave 1 patch from Evocati. There's more in regards to Evocati regarding the engineering, and the Vulkan update is embedded in it. So there's been a lot of conversation of, hey man, it would help tremendously if Vulkan was integrated with the 4.4 patch due to the lag that exists. But I think for their reasons, they want to leave it out until it's time to merge it from engineering. That way they can test, tweak things in a more controlled environment on the engineering side, the Vulkan tech. So it's more of a closed chamber of, okay, we want to make sure the multi-crew or the people that's interacting with each other, we have a balance, a check and balance of seeing the interactions between the crew working and implementing the engineering game mechanics, so that it's the goal is to make it seamless and then bring it over to 4.4 and then start the further integrations of Vulkan with 4.4. Get that good balance, right? And so in the meantime, the disciplines or the groups that are within the walls of CIG and placed in various countries, they're working on their parts in regards to getting 4.4 and their work inside the engine up to snuff in regards to, hey, did you clean up enough of this code? Did you do enough of the stabilizations? Are you doing your checks and balances? And so with this patch that's coming tonight, the expectation is we want to see a significant bump in the performance. That's the goal. That's everybody's expectations, including Chris and Benoit. So all hands on deck tonight. And of course, on the community side, all feet are on 10 toes in, man. 10 toes in on the decks of Lag Ski. And everybody's standing around and interacting and seeing, hey, is it more comparable to the other systems we're in? Yes or no? Then if no, presumably no, then I believe that they're going to burn the oil over the weekend just to get things situated in the right way. I think they're going to be, it's all hands on deck, because at the end of the day, if it's in this state, and then you also at some point in the next 2 to 3 weeks you're going to introduce IEE, the lag will be extreme to the point where it's not playable, and it won't be a good experience for Intergalactic Aerospace Expo, IAE. With the premise that you're going to introduce the Perseus as well, another capsized ship. So it's imperative. We know, we understand. It's not a wailing back continuously. Oh man, look at this. This is terrible. Oh, this is Doomsgate. This is the end of it. No, it's just they're aware. They're highly aware of what's coming down the pipeline, what needs to be introduced, what is acceptable for the next event. That's the task. That's the goal. Okay, I'm finished now. Okay, let's go. Let's get in. That's the goal. I think they can hit that. They can meet that standard. I think they're also, it's in a way of turning it around quickly or faster. It's about a faster turnaround because they're getting acclimated to this code. They're getting more, they're becoming subject matter experts on this side of Star Engine, on their side, which is Star Engine. A very niche skill set, right? Because this engine is it's their own, right? It's no longer a Cry engine, no longer Lumberyard. Star Engine. Star Engine. Okay, here we go. Getting back in. I'm in Q3. Let's make it happen, Captain. Nix 1 terraformation shows progress. Nascent oceans and atmosphere now present. Despite not bothering to seek permission from the People's Alliance to test their experimental technology in our system, the change that Genesis Terraforming has wrought upon the Nix 1's formerly harsh surface is just a short time frame is undeniable. Could this be the new dawn of a new home for our people? Albertson family killed in Vandal raid. Governing committee offers condolences but no solutions as the death toll continues to rise. The Albertson family mining post has just started its shift when the Vandal raiders struck without warning, killing the entire crew within moments. As the horrific trend of Vandal attacks continues well into second year, several members of the governing committee argued in last month's session that the time has come to ask the UEE Navy for assistance in securing the system, while Executive Allard has commented that no options are off the table when it comes to ensuring Levski's future. Senior committee member Thorin Bask has made it clear that any UEE intervention would be staunchly opposed, commenting, "If our ideals cannot stand firm in the face of mortal danger, then what are they worth?" IAE pomp and opulence reeks of empire in decline. Corporate autocracy eager to pacify the masses with annual aerospace event. While the masses may corporal autocrat, oh my god, this is a tongue twister. Corporatocracy eager to pacify the masses with annual aerospace event. While the masses may be satisfied to gather and gawk at the latest offerings, we'll continue that. I'm back in Levski. I'm going to say Levski. I'm claiming it. It's Levski. What are some of the chat comments? I use platter drives for backups, but that's it. I took a mercenary mission last night, managed to beat it. It was like 140k, but hardest part was the ships desinking massively, so you could hardly hit them. They are hot fixing tonight. LOL was hoping for it. Not a hot fix. It's a whole patch, but yes. 13 frames per second in Levski. Lord, the performance at Levski is brutal. Lord, the performance at Levski is brutal. Whole patch, sorry. For 4.4, is this the version they nerfed PDCs in? Yes, yes. Platters are good for backup. This is the chat. It's a lot of chatter too in global, because it's a lot of people. Why did they nerf it, bro? Why did they nerf it in, bro? 50% health to missiles, 50% damage to PDC, 33% health. My league teammates. The amount of FPS I'm getting is the same as the IQ as my league teammates. Oh, damn. Yikes. I dropped a couple of Vandal head statues near the main square in Levski last night. One was a Bar Citizen holograph skull, and players ran away with it. Super Mac, brother. Look at you, man. I know you got to run. The family, man. Thank you, everyone. 07s. I'm up in Lagski. I'm trying to do this thing, y'all. I'm trying to do it. I'm reading off what chat is chattering about. Of course, it's the low frame rates. But this is what you're witnessing. This is a super. I have a high-end PC here, no doubt about it. Best of the best. And just to give you a little hint, I'm using 128 gigabytes, right? So that gives you damn, wait a minute. Are we doing this? Are we doing this? Holy smokes. How much is this worth?
Damn, son.
Oh my
you
God.
Just hit with
Funky
a
Chicken
wow effect.
107. Nobody light a match in this damn place. Is it a-
Hey, citizens, can you hear me?
yes, we can hear you. Someone's on the mic.
How is your FPS?
It's PS. Piece of.
Yeah, I'm at 9. I'm in
Oh,
the United States.
Oh gosh, this is it, man. It's turning into a
So it's
meme,
been this
Chris.
bad, all bad for the first wave, the FPS?
Shut the fuck up, piece of bitch.
Oh gosh.
I know I'm a Star Citizen when I hear profanity.
Oh my gosh, it wouldn't be Star
Alright.
Citizen.
This
if-
bad in Evo. In Evo, we were getting 30 plus frames here in the lobby.
Well, you have more people
It just
though,
got
bro.
really bad last night when everybody came out. I have like 13.
He's got more.
Wow. Well,
There's more people in here
well,
now.
the Evocati opened the doors for first wave. So I thank Evocati for making it safe for us. Take it from here.
Oh, it had to
Thank you,
happen,
folks.
right? It's,
Here's the thing. Outside of what's the most important thing, if you take
Okay.
frame
And
rates
as
out of the
usual, they
out of
always
the
do this,
calculations, right?
On the weekend. And
If you take the frame rates out of this equation, what's the most important thing? Guess. Stability, right? The stability, it's got to hold up. The next thing is game-breaking bugs, right? Game-breaking bugs. You have to identify the game-breaking bugs, right? Because if you do not, they will not allow players to do what they need to do as far as interact with other things that could be potentially buggy, right? So you need those interactions, you need the stability. Once you've localized, figured out, and actually created a fix, not a potential. The potential is for us to actually find and interact with and verify, validate that, hey, it's not a potential, it is an actual fix. We're good. Once that space, once we've it's confirmed that, hey, there's enough bugs and there's enough of stability to justify, we can start dialing in on the optimizations now. You know, there's you can't immediately just, hey, optimize it, right? If there's major problems or major bugs, you can't just skip that and say, okay, let me make it more optimized. So it comes off as it's a better product, right? Because you're getting the frames. No, that doesn't equate to stability and bug fixing, actual bug fixing, things that are broken. We got to keep that in mind. We have to remember that. That's first and foremost. Server performance, how robust are the servers? Are they holding up? Are we experiencing server errors? Are we back to experiencing the infamous damn dirty K's, right?
Damn dirty K. A damn dirty K.
Yes, we're going to get there, Coffee. We have to. Let's see. Let's take a peek at mining out here, right? The Glacium. Let's see. Let's get it delivered here. But yeah, that's the chatter right now. It's just, it's the meme, the lag ski.
Following location.
Lag ski is the meme.
Please visit us again.
All right, here we go. Lag ski, lag ski. But yeah, did you all hear? I don't think it was a rumor. What was it? Burks was doing his thing, and they talked about Chris Roberts jumped into the game in a Polaris.
how's your FPS, citizen?
See, bro is on that FPS, man. But see, that's not where the focus should be, right? Even though that's the thing that's in your face. Dirty K's, yes. Yeah, it's just to say coffee. If they pop back up, we've really regressed, right? But yeah, that's the obvious is, you know, the performance. But you'll see when I leave out here, right? You'll see where things will begin to pick up. But this is also just getting everything aligned back online. All the features are connecting back into the servers and getting things in sync. But out here, let's see.
Hangars open and flight path clear. Go ahead and launch.
I love the fact that we have new audio for.
Sorry.
Gotta be careful now how I fly, because it's. But remember, this is like back in the day type stuff. We would get these frames, and this was like normal. Now it's like, this is not normal. I'm gonna go through this. What do you call the spine?
Hangars open. See you again one day. Path clear.
Hopefully, I won't crash into someone. Did my ship just shut off? Yep, it did. Okay, here we go. Oh, man. Right. For sure, coffee. That's no doubt about that. That is a certainty right there. How's your FPS? Hey, mine is. I'm in the single digits. You're in the single digits. You got digits? You're getting digits? What are you complaining about? You're getting digits. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the lag is even canceling out the some aspects of the audio is canceling out. You have where the ship will turn off. It's like, are you dormant or are you functioning? But let's see what happens as I get further away from Lagski. But that's you're seeing the asteroid in itself. It's not round like the planet from the old Delamar, right? It's more of it is an actual asteroid now. You know, the old lore was planet-sized asteroid, and they've shaped it round like a planet. Now it's just the size of a planet, but it has that deformed outline, and it's just an asteroid. And it's very distinct. I don't see any nav markers on it yet. Let's test that. I'm gonna turn around and see if there's a nav point on it. Right now it's just a visual cue that you can. Okay, it says Levski. Okay, there we go. It's Levski. I thought this was supposed to be, well, Delamar, right? Delamar, Levski is the landing zone. Delamar is the. So maybe they've taken that lore away. If I look in the star map itself, right? Levski. Okay. Okay, good. They might have taken that out of the lore. Delamar. There's Pyro Gateway, so 3 systems now. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Nix, Pyro, Stanton. That's it. Okay, I will make my way further. And you'll see where things are going to start to... The performance is going to start to bump up quite a bit. Get them. Just tell them you're getting 65 frames and man up and get by the RAM and stop playing around. Yeah. You know, it's funny. We had that discussion too, Ascendant, of you hear a lot of noise about performance, but no one will never tell you their specs. You know, and I just wonder if it's more a thing of, hey, what are my specs? Am I kind of like coming in with the lowest requirements and saying, hey, it's not playable, and making that a point of the conversation is that, hey, it's not working due to what are your specs? Now, if you're utilizing a high-end PC and you're saying, hey, this is my performance, I say that's valid. But in cases of, if your computer is 4 or 5 years old, man, and then you just said, okay, in order to play this, I'm going to drop in, because they're not working well, because they're not performing well with a hard disk. You go out and get an SSD, and then you say, hey, I got an issue with this game because it's not playable. That's not fair. Nothing's really fair, but I'm just saying that's not a base of argument to say, hey, they really need to work on this. But in the cases of, hey, man, look, I'm using 120. Person will say, hey, I don't have 64. I have 128. I have freaking 5090. I'm using 9800 X3D. What gives here? What's going on? Now you have a basis of say, yeah, that's valid, that they have to come in and really do a check and balance on the code, their net code, and which is the case. They're going to do that, and it goes back to what I was saying. They said that Chris was in the game the other night. He popped up. No interactions though. He wasn't interacting like we do. He was just, I think, looking at the system himself and saying, hey, we can do, given his assessment, right? I think given his he's witnessing, hey, what is he looking for? Yeah, the clear-cut obvious thing is optimizations, right? But I think it's deeper things that takes precedent over just the optimizations. I think it's the stability. Are the servers holding up? Are there game-breaking mechanics once we hit a ceiling in the game, and it's just like, hey, this is a red flag right here, because I cannot actually function in the game, so I have to avoid that altogether. Those are things like that is definitely high priority. And it's not to dismiss, hey, yeah, for sure, there's definite lag, right? That can't be dismissed. That's not taking that lightly. But I think in the sense of getting people in the game, being able to play in the game and stay in the game, that's what they're looking for first and foremost. And then attacking those cases of, hey, I did this, I did that, this response sparked this, and now I cannot go any further, or I have to shut the game off or wait for you all to fix this particular thing. I think those are the things that they're attacking right now, and I think that's we don't know the frequency or the volume of those instances of things that are game breaking. So we don't know those numbers. Let's just assume that it's quite a few. It's quite a bit. But the good news is, if you're able to stay in the game for a number of hours, despite the lag, they're on track. Literally, they are on track. Turkey, I like that too. Using just that, hey, it's Levski. Let's get Delamar out of there. Let's not add to, or let's just keep this simplified along with the other systems. So we look at it, it's Levski. Let's go to Levski. I like that. Singular 8. Yes, sir. But yeah, I mean, now as you can see, very playable. Let me see if I can ping some asteroids for you all. About that bottom line, baby. Okay, I have an unknown entity right here. Let's see what it does. Let's see what's capable, what's broken. But I tell you, one thing that's consistent and just this right here, what we're hearing. Pedro, man. He's an assassin, man. When it comes to those notes, he is an assassin. You listen and then you realize your emotions have been compromised because you're listening like, what is this beautiful, inspirational, movie-esque sound I'm getting in a video game, and it's all original. Nothing to underestimate, for sure. Yeah, we needed it. I send it. We definitely needed it, and he understood. We're gonna get, and it's fair. 07, Shoei 07. Thank you for the follow. We are doing our thing out here as best as we can. Let's make it happen, Cap. Yeah, this. I mean. Okay, I'm listening to the differences, and this is his latest, right? This is Pedro's latest offering, right? And it says to me, I'm listening to the bits and pieces of it, and it's like when you combine that with the lore of Levski, it's like you're on the cusp of discovery. Your hope is within you. You're here, and you're to make this whatever you can. You know, you make it your best out here. This is the frontier, and you keep hope ingrained inside of you, because it's you and others who believe in this one narrative of we've got each other's back. Go couple. Let's see here. All right. Now, usually with the orange spectacles, there it's Quantanium, right? Let's see. Is it actually there? It says it's trying to scan. Let me see if I can. If this nodule goes inside of this rock, it's not really there. The data isn't there. Let's see. Okay, it came up. There it is. Vexilite. All right. Impossible. It's the module that I have. I did not customize yet. It's wave 1. Let's look at some other rocks. It says it's impossible. Okay, 10.5 clicks out for that one. That one's 10.1. Yeah, that's the interesting part right there, Dirk. About I do Evocati, but when you talk about engineering on the industrial side, I think it's going to be there, and it all depends, right? The advantages of engineering is more predicated on the multi-crew side of it, because you have multiple stations that you're interacting with. But I think they've yet to. I haven't tried the single seat ship experience. That's one aspect, but I think going forward, like let's say for example, the Arastra will be announced, and we see that sometime next year, right? The Arastra. Then what they've learned from the initial release of engineering in general, you'll have that foundation started with like that type of ship, but then you may have some customized aspects of the engineering with industrial ships, but still like functionalities that are required or a part of that ship, such as refinery, which we don't have yet. But a refinery station, what are the archetypes? What are the archetypes that will tie in? So power distribution will be one. You could have a conversation to say, hey, okay, when it comes down to the refining or method or the process, does it pull extra? This is a new mineral, Savrilium. Savrilium, and Torite. That's another one. Those are ores. Is there a power drain involved in that, right? Yeah. So is that his reply to Finra about engineering? You're saying it's so far from gold standard. Yeah, so I think there's a process or a layer of, let's get some of the military base ships, the multi-crewed ships, get that foundation in, because it will be combat oriented, which will then affect the engineering, like damage. We were told, hey, it wasn't a thing of like a hard note, hey, don't use the fire. But I was interacting with Skyhawk, and he pulled his gun out, he started shooting the component. And then he noticed, I noticed, but they were saying, hey, it's not there yet. So I noticed on my end, the component started taking damage, and then there was a fire initially started. It initiated a fire, and I'm looking, and he's not seeing anything, and I'm telling him, hey man, you damaged the component, and now it caught on fire, and he's like, I don't see anything, and that's hence why they said, hey, don't use it. It doesn't work. And so I'm standing there, and then now again, I think there's concerns about damage, and I think it goes the way of when they introduce I'm using this for a reason. They introduced the drinking and eating mechanic, and it's like, hey, Linda tells me all the time, Kimmy, you're at 30%. You need to drink, you need to eat something. And we initially, before it became a actual thing inside of the game mechanic, we were like, man, this is a bad idea because this is going to take away from the gameplay. And so, yeah, we have instances where they may have bugs that will initiate, hey, I'm eating, or my stamina is extra low. I have to eat and drink like on the set, almost on the minute, right? To some, it feels that way, right? And they eventually, that's just the bug aspect of it. But overall, the gameplay aspect was like, yeah, I can work with that. It's what we do in real life, and it's not a detriment where it will stop you from playing the game. So come back to what this engineering aspect is. Some players are saying, oh my God, what's the point of this? I'm flying my ship. You give me a love tap and everything wants to catch fire or stop working. Man, this is a horrible idea. And so hence I'm looking at the damage that was initiated by Skyhawk, and the fire was a slow ramp up. I'm just standing there looking at it, and it wasn't immediate woof, like it was like someone threw gasoline on it. It started combusting and catching on fire and started rapidly expanding. It was not that at all. It was a slow, gradual process of it being done in real time. So I basically looked around. I grabbed the fire extinguisher. I said, oh, I can grab this. I went over, I started using it, and it, hell man, it worked. It was pretty cool. It worked. And, but as I said, it was slowly increasing to the point where I think visually it was stunning to look at, like heat waves. It was more like, if I could name something that you've seen before, have you noticed like with the new quantum mechanic that it's like a little like a wave or something that distorts things, but you don't see it, but it's a warping. And so my hand goes up like this, but you can see the warping of the image, which it was very it was right on tune with like a heat wave. You understood that immediately. The visual was spot on with a heat wave, and you could see the waves, not smoke or anything. It was just like the vision, the blur, not a blurring, but expanding of something, like the air, like it was a heat wave. And it was like, oh man, holy smokes, this looks good. It plays out well. But again, I think, like I said, using the analogy of, hey, we're going to be eating and drinking. Oh no, this is going to destroy the game. I don't think that's the case. I think when it's said and done, when you start going into battle and you start implementing some serious damage, and if you're not, or let's say you're undermanned, or you're not crewing up the right number of people to mitigate those issues, it's going to continue to ramp up, and you're basically unable to have a fight in a multi-crew ship by being undermanned or not having enough personnel on board. You got to have a full crew to make sure if you go into combat, or if that happens, you better understand what's going on in regards to, hey, I'm a few men short, I'm going to run, or hell, I'm trapped, so I have no choice. But if you're fully crewed, then there's going to be that gameplay of bypassing power plants, being attentive to components, and it goes back to, this ties into the flight model, right? Because let's say, you're into the flight model, you have to slow the ship down to a point where you're targeting specific components. Yeah, granted, it's not to say that it's so slow that you can stay on track or stay on target to that targeted system that you want to disable in order to either board or steal, confiscate, or check for contraband, whatever the case, pirate or non-pirate. You got to slow it down where you're targeting parts of the ship and making that part of it. 07 Vickers. You better use medical than that game feature. Oh, they could have updated the Fortune with the and used that as a template for the old Prospector. Yeah, I think, Bender, overall, when we're talking about the team, like John Crew, and what does that look like as far as what I'm hearing is that they have a number of 45 people, and what does that look like going forward? Yeah, I think it's a case for John Crew and his team, or team Ben Curtis and John Crew and the actual ship team. I think now it's just the base of getting those ships into the game, right? But I think it's going to be a thing of doubling back and adding in the gold standards, engineering, and covering covering all bases on that in that regard. I think it may be a multi-pass process for John Crew right now because they're playing catch up right now, and they also have to keep on track with marketing, releasing of ships, revenue, intake of revenue, and things of that nature. So it's a balance with them, right? But I think there's also that learning curve from people that was just hired, because you just don't pop in 45 people and it's immediate. I think there's a ramping up of learning the manufacturers, the style guides. There's a level of training that's coming in to play with the seasoned veterans of the ship makers, ship builders, the developer ship makers. They're bringing in new team members. There's a period of training. What do you work on specifically that you don't see that immediate impact, right? But I want to use the example of Will Haynes, as you know him as Dirty River Guy. See, I'm adding stuff, and I'm not being insulting. I'm trying to be funny, and it's not funny. But Will Haynes, you first call him River Guy, and oh man, wait a minute, you only making a river? All these systems we're supposed to get, you just made a river. Come on, man. And then it went from 1 to 10 rivers. Okay, 10 rivers. All right, where they at? How come I can't find 10 rivers? Then he says 65 rivers. Then he said hundreds of rivers. What? Damn, man. What else you do? You do anything else? Just make rivers? I haven't seen one yet. That's a lot of rivers. That's a lot of rivers. Show me proof that you made them, right? So that comes in, right? River Guy, right? And then next thing you know, come CitizenCon Direct. Hello, I'm Will Haynes, senior engineer for Genesis. And you're like, no, you River Guy. What do you mean? You River Guy. What? Genesis? What's that? Is that some Star Trek term? Wait a minute. I think that, is he saying he's Planetary Tech 5 guy? I don't know about that. Wait a minute. I think he senior engineer. That's the example. You have a period of people coming in and they're exploring and they're going through the what is that? Onboarding. The onboarding is another term for training. They get acclimated to the Star Engine, right? There's an acclimation period. And you make them feel comfortable. The last thing you want to do is be a micromanager and say, I'm going to throw you to the wolves over here, get over there and get it done, right? Let's make it happen, Cap. And you're like, no, that's not how you manage. What you see from where he is now, that's the prime example of doing it the right way, managing talent like that in the right way. So to his credit, he was very aware of his job. He's inspired. He loves it comes across that he loves what he do, right? And now you see the results. So the same adage can be applied to the 45 people who they're now a part of John Crew's team. And yeah, granted, 6 to 8 months, maybe a year of that intense growth period, right? But then it pays dividends when they start to say, they come into their own and start coming into, hey, I think there's a better way to do this. But hey, if you take a look at this, and all of a sudden they're more than just people sitting down and going through a production line, right? They're invested, they're inspired, they have a part of this narrative of creating something that's very unique, right? It was the River Guy all along. Is he saying we're getting a Sega Genesis game? Sonic coming. Yeah, that's a new ship, Sonic. Bender's like, wait a minute. Bender's like, I lost faith in those coders when they showed they didn't know the difference between monocular and binocular. Those people did not do the job. What? Oh my, no, man. That's Bender is he serious? It's I mean, that's some old school stuff. You got to remember, Bender, you're getting older, man. You're getting older. These are kids, man. These are kids, right? They're getting older too, but we're way ahead of them. Binocular. I did see that though, monocular, and I'm like, oh, this is more closer to what they were using in Star Wars, right? As opposed to I think there's something to be said about the development of that too, Bender. When you look at, you just get one lens. It's similar to the sniper lens, right? You have something that's kind of working, right? So it's a great example of them taking what's existing and reproducing it as something else. And again, to the adage of what I was saying, people are coming in that's new and say, I need to put them on a project. What do? I'm going to give them something where they can't mess it up because they're learning, right? So that could very well be an apprentice's project right there. That's a perfect example of that. When you're saying you don't know the difference between mono and bi for two? What about a trinocular? Yeah. And I think going forward, Bender, I think once they've seen that process and they're getting acclimated to the coding and they make it work, you could also have an advanced version of it, a variant of that, a more expensive one that's battery powered, right? That it gives you infrared or things at night. You could see it at night and things of that nature. You can even apply it to maybe life forms, in the area. Trinocular. Get off my damn lawn, you damn kids. Yeah, they're kids, man. But again, there's no shame. I mean, it's like you can't be ashamed of what you don't know, right? Until you explain it to the person to say, oh, really? Oh, okay. They won't be ashamed. Rangefinder. Yes, rangefinder. Yep. They run out, but in real life, rangefinders, after so many hundreds of feet, they are not as accurate, right? You have to definitely can't track 300 feet unless I guess you get to a more robust version of a rangefinder. Yep. But I like rangefinders. You get angles, your distances. You can hit a target. But sometimes when you get to a certain distance, it's kind of like you're trying to hold it like this and keeping it steady, and it can be problematic. It's not a proven piece of equipment at when you get to certain distances. Well, I think it frees you from having that particular gun bender or having that ammunition stored, whereas you have something that your go-to weapon like an AR, and you have ammo just for that. And so prior to getting closer to the targeted zone that you want to traverse or interact with, you can just pull that piece of tech out, or let's say you don't have a weapon, you can stay put, right? Let's say that could open to other things, but if you're in a crew, you have someone that's a surveyor or the tracker or the point, and then they can just kind of talk you into where things are, right? But it's again, it's the tools, having the right variety of tools, and we've seen this before, Bender. We've seen this so many times. We'll see the tools added to the game, and we have a distinct viewpoint, right, on that particular thing. And the most amazing thing, one of the amazing things I've seen in Star Citizen, you have another individual will take that same tool, right, or component, and do something totally different that you're like, you go to, you look at the screen and like, who knew? Who knew? You're like, what? Amazing. This person is using it this way? I didn't realize that. Now I want it. I want it back. I like it now. We've seen that too many times. Well, again, it goes back to, but then when it came out, people were, some people are just saying, hey, it's useful, I think when we get into more of systems that will have creatures, you will have to use them, Bender. You may run into areas or territories, like you have certain predators that are territorial. You want to be able to spot what's going on before you happen to traverse that area. No doubt. But I think, it's just variety. This is about variety. And they're going to keep it because there's enough people. I have one on me. I have one right in my backpack. No shame to my game. I can read the ridges on a quarter with a rangefinder at 1,600 meters in 1990. Both platforms didn't have vibrations. Holy smokes. To some aspects, maybe the rangefinder should go, well, I don't know. A sniper scope is, yeah, those are two different things. But, the more tools, I would say keep making different gadgets and tools. I think it's something to be said about having that kind of feel for things. And it goes back to what I was saying. Well, I had some conversation and thought about this too. With regards to Star Citizen, I think when you look at the aspects of video games, you have those comparisons, and you go by those comparisons of what's successful, what is not successful, is it good for the game or not, right? But then there's this, I think this is a Chris Roberts thing for sure. There's this narrative of, he states this a lot. You're talking about in the platform of this, which is a video game, he's coming in with not just adding that layer of what it is and what is we do inside this video game. He's also adding in the aspects of him telling a story, or what do you say? What's that word? Enabling you to tell your own narrative or your own story. And how do you do that? You provide the players with in the sense of the terms of a movie set. You give them the tools, you give them the things to work around and interact with and let them tell their story. I think this is why he's, he looked at Star Wars, that universe, and he looked at technology and say, hey, I can't make movies, right? Growing up, I don't have the resources just to jump in and make a movie. But the closest vehicle to that's economically feasible was video games. And so, yeah, years later, obviously he was able to drum up the resources to get into movie making, right? But I think with technology, video games, it gave him, or it empowered him to kind of blend and merge those aspects together. And I think fast forward, you see and you begin to understand that not a lot has changed with Chris. And I'm not saying it as a detriment, I'm saying it as a compliment. It's him telling this story. If it wasn't for Origin or EA holding back the Wing Commander, we would say this is Wing Commander 8 or whatever the case. This is Wing Commander again, right? So he could not use that name because it was no longer his, or it never was his, or they sold the rights, so he has no right to call it Wing Commander. Or you can say the Wing Commander successor. But again, it's just to make the point of saying he hasn't changed his mind. He hasn't changed his concepts. It's just that technology has changed. It's allowed him to blur the line between movie direction or movie telling, storytelling, in the guise of, or blend it, or making a hybrid of that with a video game. And so it goes back to say you have all the pieces and then some. You continue to make pieces and build things around you that you interact with, so you can tell your story and you can do these things as if you're living this life in space, or this world of his, this universe of his that he's made up. And it's like you play out as Mark Hamill on Tatooine, and you see life simply day to day, and you have those tools, you use those tools, you maybe you have a water purification system, you have solar battery panels that fuel up your living quarters, right? Again, tools. And that was one of the iconic scenes in Star Wars. He uses the monocular, right? He's looking in the distance to see things. That's where that's coming from. But again, it's him giving you everything you need and then some, to allow you to interact in this world as though you're saying, what would life be if I had a ship that could traverse light years away? And I end up, coming to this civilization, or this planetary system, or this system that have other life, that people look like me or don't look like me, but they're civilized, and you have this life out here, and you're doing things. And it's like, hey, wait a minute, this is what I would do. This is how, I would get things done. What is this? But look, the lag, and look, it's just, look like the airlock is open. Let's see. There's an airlock. Let's do a little investigation. What's going on here? Let's see who's. There's the cockpit. I don't see anybody on deck. Oh boy, I'm asking for trouble, right? $29 at a golf course. It was a multi-million-dollar team. Oh my gosh, that's cool. But yeah, utilizing all these different things, and it goes back to what I was talking about. I think with Star Citizen, and my thoughts lately has been about looking at what they're building and their hard. My ship moving? I would say it's moving, right? I don't want to get too far away, and this thing is. Hold on, let me shut her down. Put the brakes on it. But yeah, I would say I'm looking for, with Star Citizen, more things. Oh boy, here we go. This thing want to get away from me. Oh crap. What is going? Okay. Oh snap. Desync. You see that? Holy smokes. Okay, it seemed to be stopped. I think that's desync. Big time. All right. I think there's something missing right now that I kind of thought of with Star Citizen. I'm thinking I want to podcast it, talk about it. I think there's some things that are missing, very important things, that I think it would take possibly the lore team to bring it, to reel it in. And it's not an obvious thing, but it's foundational. Okay, it says docking collar up here. Let's see. I'm locked out. Yeah, I'm getting good frames out here in Levski. It's just that area. Okay, trying to see. Is it on the underbelly? Let's see. There it is. See if there's a way in. Idris. But yeah, I think we will see a great production uptick with John Crew and Ben Curtis and their team members come 2026. He did state for 2026 there's going to be a marked, a memorable moment for the ship creation team in 2026. And that's just to say, in my opinion, they're looking at the projections and where the team members are in development of those ships, they're going to be in a really good place for what we see as far as not just new ships, but going back to these other ships and really identifying what it will take to make those ships be a part of the game, and to be something that you want to get in and fly continuously and say, I'm happy with the ship. I don't want to melt anything. I have my perfect crew of ships or number of ships in game, and I'm anxiously waiting to see what else they come up with. But we definitely got to. I think I did have conversation about the flight model. I think, you know, I did state that it's unfortunate that those series of events happen with the NDA, and at the end, but still, with that said, I think you have to stay focused. This is for the CIG team. You have to stay focused on the goal. You can't get caught up in your feelings about, hey, I trusted you on this. And at the end of the day, man, we're talking about a video game. You're talking about, you know, you're dealing with kids. You're talking about adults who, you know, don't take things seriously in a way of like, hey, this is NDA. They having childish behaviors with something you have to take serious. Yeah, we're in an element of a video game being developed, but there's an element of, hey, there's a level of responsibility that you have to take on and say, hey, I own this. I'm a part of this process. You can trust me. And then you turn around and just for the glory of just, you know, showing, hey, I'm a part of this, and look at this. I did this. See this? Yeah, I did this. And it's a betrayal, not just to CIG, but it's a betrayal of that person's own character. It's silly, you know, on the level of it being a video game. It's worse because you're talking about, what if it's something that was very serious, and here you are untrustworthy. But moving forward, it's kind of it's basically, you cannot let that one person or that individual frame the priority that's in hand. We're still here, flight model team. We meaning the community, we're still counting on you to get this done. We're still actively contributing and being a part of the process and supporting this project. At the end of the day, that's the mission. It's kind of, here's the narrative. No matter what, no matter the circumstance, Batman stayed on mission. He knew what the mission was all about. He stayed on. It's about protecting Gotham. No matter what, that was the mission, right? So they have to understand, yeah, it happened, but don't get caught up in your feelings about, hey, I'm going to shut this down. No, you double down. You say, regardless of the NDA leak, I'm going to go ahead and get this done because there are people that I trust. There are people I can confide in and know that they have my backs on this. But the narrative, the priority is getting this into the hands of the community so that we can get past this thing called the flight model and get on with the game that is Star Citizen, the universe. Let's get it done, guys. At the end of the day, let's get it done. And don't let that hamper who you are. We know who you are. You're good. You're good with us. Keep moving, though. Keep it moving. End of the day, this whole project is based on the results. And yet, here we are, years later, we're still looking at, okay, what's the definition, what's definitive of how we fly these ships? There's this huge debate on what it's supposed to do. We need it in our hands to say, it's comparable, it works, it plays well. We're moving on. Let's move on, flight model. let's move on. We need to get these other ships, like the Reliant is one where I dream of that ship of just saying it can function as a interceptor when it's in vertical mode. It has the maneuverability of like it's one of the high points of maneuverability when it's in the horizontal mode and flight atmospheric control, right? And so it lends to that diversibility of that ship when it's in those two modes, right? My favorite part of this game, you can have a Star Wars experience, an Expanse vibe, or Firefly vibe. You can choose that experience by a press of a button, right? That's a unique feature, right? And that's so important because again, here's the hard fact. We don't pay, these ships are not the cost of peanuts, right? This ship that I'm trying to get into is thousands of dollars. Literally, it's nothing to sneeze at. Some of us, this is why, people say it's a scam. They'll look at this and say, wait a minute, you did what? How much is this? Are you crazy? Me too, Coffee. I got to see that. I got to see that. Dances with Stars. But yeah, I mean, that's the narrative, man. We pay a lot. Not to say we pay too much. We pay a lot. You got to get it done, flight model team. Get it done. Don't. Yeah, it's shameful. It's hurtful. But we're counting on you guys. You can do this. You got this. Let's make it happen. Let's get it done. That's where it counts. That shows your resilience. That shows that you're the better person. You still can stay on point with the task despite that. But don't let that hang you up or get you caught up in your emotions of what you need to do. At the end of the day, that's the narrative. That is the priority. Get it done, man. Shame on them. Shame on them. They'll grow. I know. I want it to be mine, Vickers. I want it to be mine. I want it for myself. There's going to be a lot of ships. A lot of ships. And what? In 3 weeks, we're going to see some new ones. In 3 weeks.
Son, you just hit with the wow effect.
Cherry Play 207 to you. Welcome. And thank you for that follow. 07 to you. Star Citizen. Cherry Plays 2. I'm hoping I'm not locked out of my ship. Let's see. Here's the door. Okay, I'm in. Yeah, see, I'm getting my frames. Frames are decent, right? Now, I wonder, are they using the old technology or the old software code from back in the day for the Grand Barter? Could that be part of the issue? They won't tell, but I would love to see a post-mortem of, hey, this is what we did to get the optimizations running in the game. This is what was required. This is what we came up against. I don't want to get a crime stat. I'm not going to fire on this. I'm in... yeah, I don't want to make that mistake. But I don't know who's... Okay, let me see if I can find some rocks out here. something here. All right, let's see. I may have to customize some of this. But so far, I mean, this is Pyro, y'all. I mean Levski. Or am I thinking that now's a good time to go to Pyro? No, I go to Pyro whenever I want. Okay, let's see. Here we go. We have another asteroid. Yeah, some visual anomalies going on, but not breaking the game though. Okay, the light is working for my ship. But yeah, they're gonna have to, going back to the ship team, they're gonna have to go back. Once they have engineering in, that means going across all disciplines of the ship. There's gonna be some variations with the industrial ships, with its stations and UI, but it's all going to be predicated on the power plant, that the pipeline from the power plant to the systems, right? That power feed to them, the UI that will be the bridge of communication and functionality. Right, and then from there, what are the aspects that make it unique? I think it will be based upon the user interfaces, such as if you have a refinery, like say for example the Arastra, you have two refinery stations in it. So you need to know that power allocation is adjusted or given. They are giving. Or getting 100% of power allocations to do their jobs. Maybe the fuse is going to be in place. If you have to change fuses and you get overloads and it blows the fuse and you have to have fuses to replace them so it can connect and then allow power distribution to come back that way. So most part, you also have like, for example, mining lasers, which will require power. So it's going to be balanced out. I think you can make some adjustments or customizations to have better components, or let's say, for example, a better power output, right? A better power plant to make sure that all systems are nominal when you want to overclock or go to 100%. The quality of them will be so important, and I think that's where the crafting aspect will come in for those components. But I think you will not be able to experience all of its potential in regards to engineering until, like Bender mentioned, the new gold standard is engineering. So all those ships and systems have to have that implemented. Let's see, I found some debris for salvaging. Yeah, the new gold standard for ships now is the engineering aspects. I've yet to see or test if, there's a single seated ship. Let's see, for example. No, that's the engineering test. But let me look and see if there's things in place back here. User interface. Okay. Now, as far as components, crafting, and things of that nature, modularity, I don't think it should be just about a room, but like this, a water dispenser or water/food dispenser, you fill it up in the cargo system or something. Maybe it's a two-way there's a compartment where you can store things, right? Which will supply. It goes through a system like for water. You have a case of water or something, or water bottles. You just distribute. And I think at some point these may be interactable. You grab a glass, set your glass down, hit. Oh. Okay. That was just my light going on simultaneously. But yeah, stations. There is the fire extinguisher, right? Toilet access, water, running water. Life support. I think life support 2.0 will be cleanliness, taking showers, utilizing the utilities in your shit. Life support. I think that falls under life support. But yeah, cannot. Yeah, older system, right? Older shit. Will there be a user interface here with regards to engineering or systems on the ship to get it up and running again? Possibly so. It's a blank area, right? That stands to say that that is a good spot for it. Or you split it in half, or mining, maintenance, tank 1, tank 2. This might be the thing for the Arastra, right? So when you see this, that could be the refinery, and you have the user interface over here, and maybe your control systems for refinery for the Expanse. I'm sorry, I might have said Arastra for the Expanse because it's similar in size. But yeah, you can input things like here, a food or water fabricator, maybe a SC1. You can go in here, close, and then you get water distribution down here. Life support systems. Life support means stank. Support tank, stank. Yeah, I think, you could have that for not just for the Prospector, the Arastra, as well as the what was the Miss salvage ship, the Fortune. Yep, same thing could be for the Fortune or Fortune. Life support, a med kit, maybe. Yeah, life support. All this falls under life support. I think life support could be expanded on the engineering side. It will be fleshed out and then linked with medical. They kind of have their cousins, right? We're going back to Lagski. Yes, Rand. You want to see it? Yeah. So it's not so Lagski here. It's Levski here. This is Levski. But the patch tonight, I would... Man, if they can really get that Grand Barter online with what we're seeing right now, my gosh, yeah, we'll be right. We will be right. But I'm afraid that they may end up having to include another server, possibly. Oh, now I'm finding salvage material. Look at that. Everybody, look. What can you tell me about that? That little red area. No, Rand print. It's only here, out here, right? So watch this. Levski is going to turn into Lagski. I just got to find the... Okay, Levski. Take the moniker Delamar away. Retcon that. Because it's too similar. As JP Salmon was saying, we were talking about, Delamar and Daymar, too similar in its naming aspect. Let's see, it says Nyx. Blocked by nav point. Man, that is the Vandal space, right? Straight ahead. Holy smokes. I'm not finding any, well, there are two new types of ore. Don't remember the name, but it's probably more than just two, Ranprint. I don't know what the values are. Yeah, we're back to Levski. Yep, we're back. I think people are going to really enjoy these new additions that they've added to with the Vandal, the landing zone, Levski. What it's now become, or what it should have been from the beginning. It's not round like a planet, but it's an actual asteroid. It's hollowed in the middle, which is a landing zone for with hangars in it. It's yeah, and then the Grand Barter. I suspect that it's the same old code for it, hence why they're having issues with it. So I think they're in the process of recoding it in the back end, keeping the visuals as they are, and just basically having to strip out the code on it and replace it. It could be that could be the case, and then move on to continue with stabilization, and then once that's and major bug fixing, and once that's done, then you're going to see the optimizations. At some point we got to see, I guess what they're saying now is not dynamic server meshing, but it's advanced server meshing. I've seen that in, I think, the monthly report now. Oh, you want to use that ironclad? I'm hearing next May or April for that. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know. They could totally surprise us and really step up on that ironclad. But I don't see it this year, but early next year. It's practice for the Arastra. Yeah. I could see them making the announcement next year, because I think, that he said for a certainty, John Crew mentioned that ships for 2026, look out. This is the year of that'll be the year for ships. That team is getting themselves acclimated. They're going to be able to work independently pretty much with a lot of trust, because they've gotten the muscle memory in. They're acclimated to the process. Now it's go time. Look at that. That is Vandal space out there. I wonder if there will be missions that will allow Idrises and larger ships to go out there and take on that challenge and attacking or retaliate or perform retaliation for the raid attacks. Oh yeah, that would be insane if they drop their roster. I think now with what we're seeing with Nyx and now further aspects of mining, it's about to take another leap forward. Then it's a perfect time to bring in the Arastra, but not just the Arastra, but also the gameplay of refinery stations, right? Arastra has that, but the one that was the original was the Expanse. But then also you bring in additional functionality with the Starfarer and Starfarer Gemini, being able to refine all minerals in their refinery station, right? And I think the Orion, I think that could be post 1.0 Ranprint. But for some reason, right, I looked at what they showed with that mining facility. I think that was a sneak peek into gameplay mechanics for the Orion. you might even have multiple stations like that where you go in and break those rocks, right? It may not end with it's a one and done. You might kind of like the resource facilities on planet that they had sprinkled out different planets. I could see them spreading those out to different locations where there's a lot of asteroids, right? Population scattered out. But I think it's just to say I can do that with a team of people. But at the end of the day, the Orion is the one that can actually, that ship is based on finding those large asteroids and breaking them with not giving attention to itself. So I think that's a treat to say, hey, thank you for waiting. Thank you for pledging on this ship and us not providing it right away. This is a show an appreciation for what you've done. But yeah, you'll be able to break those kind of rocks the similar way that we've seen in Star Citizen. Citizen Con Direct. I wouldn't be surprised if they had some sort of similarities in how things are done. And I think when you talk about that, you're talking about at that point player counts are at an all-time high. And can you imagine having that Orion break a huge rock, and you have the Mold, you have the Arastra, you have the Expanse, you have so many, you have the Golem, you have all these mining ships, maybe even a mining version of the Atlas that can set depth charges to break them down even further, right? But a huge potentially huge mining op that's happening in real time with dedicated people who are, really highly focused on that gameplay. And you see it and you're like, wait a minute, this is an experience. And that potential is there. It's not so far out of reach now. You see that, yeah, I can envision that. I can see where that could go in regards to we're all out here, we're getting this job done. But then you have to sprinkle in and pepper in some dangers. Maybe there's pressures that you have to be aware of. Maybe scanning can come into the play with engineering where they're doing analysis on the rocks and they see hidden pressures within the depth of the rock. Maybe the atlases have to go in, set depth charges, fracture it or release those pressures, or a drill or something, release pressures, or siphon, make a point where you puncture it and then maybe a starfarer can come in and siphon fuel or gases, hydrogen or quantanium. It's endless. It's endless. The Endeavor. I think with the Endeavor, I think that will, to your point, once we have an establishment or an established gameplay mechanic that gives us crafting and interactions of flora and fauna and interacting, and you taking those and you're performing, like in the RPG terminology is being used with alchemy, right? So it's a science, it's pharmaceuticals, it's R&D. And so you have the Endeavor that has a science facility built into it. You're extracting, you're adding, you're looking at the combinations of what you've used or what you're using to come up with a compound of whatever it is, right? Or it gives you analysis as, hey, this is promising here, right? And then you're shifting around things because you may have the right combination of things. It's a potential. It gives you a clue. You're getting warmer, but this is a potential for something. And you're adding things, you're taking away things, and then all of a sudden, bingo, there it is. You found it. Now you can refine it. And it's like, hey, this will enhance endurance. This will enhance that. Place this additive to your armor material, right? maybe self-healing to some point through its lifespan. Maybe, it's endless of what you can kind of add to the Endeavor with the crafting aspect. And then, with the Endeavor, it's more of you're crafting with enhancements. Yeah, the quality. Yeah, so you're dealing with enhancements to those quality level blueprints. Or you have the blueprint and you bring these additives in there to your blueprinted version of a weapon or your armor, or you're creating a superfood, like maybe you're coming up with a hardy flora type for a desert arid area. So it's hardy, it doesn't require a lot of water, it's resilient, things of that nature, and you can continue to craft those things. And you sell them as seeds, bulk seeds, and you plant them on your plot of land, and you have these resilient greens, which you can put into a food fabricator, synthesize it down to a liquid, and now when you drink, it's less often that you have to drink because of its protein, mineral enriched makeup, right? So you're like, man, I'm getting this from so and so. This is a super drink right here. And it sustains me. If only I knew the combination of what so and so was using, but I'll continue to buy it. Yes, improvement of existing. Yes, improvement of existing components and materials on a level that only the Endeavor can enhance, right? And then the hospitals, when you talk about the Endeavor and you see the Apollo and you leverage, well, wait a minute, the Endeavor, the Apollo, you have a choice of 6 tier 3s, or you can do 4 tier 2s, or you get, if you want to max out a tier 1, it's like 1 bed per side. So a maximum of 2 beds that are tier 1s, right? With the Endeavor, maybe you get all 6 ships and it's tier 1, and it utilizes less amount of med gel. That's the Endeavor. I want to see that. I don't own an Endeavor, but I'm just saying, y'all, that's what the level of, because it's super efficient. That's what that's what it should be able to do, in my opinion, right? It's the hyper class of its archetype, right? Super level, it's high level of it's the enterprise level of its archetype. Super efficient. Yeah, a hospital. Yeah, it's those modules. That was the initial concept of modularity with the Endeavor. I literally was there that day when and I'm gonna tell you, anyone in chat. Here's a fun fact trivia quiz for you all. Who was the dev that, or let's see, the CIG person that introduced the Endeavor for the first time? I was there, so I know. I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna let you. So who introduced it? Who introduced the science module and the Endeavor itself? Do you need a hint? I'll give you a hint. Last letter of their name ends with a K. Ding, 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 ding. Yes. Ben who? Ben who? Ben who? There's a lot of Bens, man. Ben who? Who are we talking about? Who's Ben Vanek? Don't make me spell things. Yeah, Ben Lesnick. Ben Lesnick. Yep, it was Ben Lesnick. Yeah, he actually he had it on his gaming laptop, and he revealed it at Dragon Con, and he had it up on he had it on a projector, and he showed the ship, and then he proceeded to reveal that not just there was a ship, it detached from the science station or the actual station itself, and then he proceeded to show, not just that, you have it can detach and go planet side and then come back and attach itself, but also there are modules that connect to it that gives you different variations on gameplay, and people were just like, what? That was a brilliant idea. To this day, I mean, hence why we don't see it or have it in the game is because you need those supporting features to bring it, to allow all those modules. I would say, do you initially just want the Endeavor and its hospital module first, or do you want to wait for all aspects and the supporting features of the game and then introduce the Endeavor? I think you get I think with all that they're doing, there's the opportunity to have it all, right? You know what, Ramprint? That's a real great point right there. Because they're this, are they not the same? The MISC Endeavor, right? Yeah, that's all MISC branded technologies. But then now that we're getting the command module of the Ironclad, and between the command modules that are compatible between the Ironclad and the Caterpillar, that the framework of that technology can be applied to, the Endeavor. I would say, you know what, chat? I love these conversations because can we not have a soft production between Ben Curtis and the team? Ben Curtis and John Crew? What I would frame out and say, wait a minute, Kimmy, what are you talking about? A soft production. A soft production is, okay, you have the basic interior and shape of the ship, right? It's concept, right? You have a 3D working model. No bells or whistles. And let's say established or proven technologies such as the command module would be a great starting point for the Endeavor. So you have these modular pieces, no gameplay functionality to them, but having them work to connect, right, and function. Soft production, right? Soft development. And so you take the framework of the Drake command module and you apply it over to the MISC Endeavor, and you say, okay, we have functionality of and framework for that, those connecting pieces, right? That's functioning. Now you take whatever that module is, you say, okay, what's the closest thing to that? That would be the Pisces. Can it fly similar to the Pisces? Okay, have a similar in-flight model of the Pisces, Rescue? I think that's one of the best flying ships, in my opinion, in Star Citizen. The Pisces Rescue, right? You take that and say, okay, it flies like that. We're good with that. Soft production. No no pressure at all. And you say, okay, I'm going to get back over to priority. I'll come back over a few months and just see this. Or maybe there's something that, oh, okay, we have the working, or now we have a higher tier for medical. Let me take that module that actually fits, right, within the framework of other modular working ships, right? And you take that framework that works and say, okay, we now can, let's say we look at the Apollo. That's working, right? Obviously. This is the highest tier outside of just going planet side to local or civilized location that is a hospital, an actual hospital. All right. I'm going to take that into account, the Apollo. The owners of the Endeavor, they're getting tier 1s. 6 total tier 1 beds. The efficiency comparison, how many that you give to, the highest tier that's out there, you double it for the Endeavor. Its utilization, its efficiency of the med gel is 50% less. Same effectiveness. That is the framework for your hospital Endeavor. That's a done deal. It's working. We see the functionality. Now let's go ahead and strip out the skinning, the aesthetics, right? The design language, and let's give it that MISC manufacturer language. But we have that functionality. The Apollo hospital functionality is there. Now you're pretty much semi done with the Endeavor's command module for the hospital. I would say that's soft development right there. Yeah, it's the highest tier out there, Ramprint, and I don't think many people will have rebuttal to that because it is the Endeavor. I would be happy just to know that there's progress, or there's a narrative of, hey, we're going to do this. In the lines of transparency, we're going to do this, but at the same time, it's not active development. But this is where we are. We're utilizing functionality in game, right? And what does this do to the morale? It increases exponentially, right? It bolsters the morale to say, it's coming, baby. It's on the way. It's on its way. And it's right, because we see working functionality. I'm happy. But no wins. Jarrett, you know how to do it. No wins. Huff and puff all you want. Lament and cry all you want. But this is a soft development. This is a soft development right now. It's on the back burner, but we will visit it time and time because we have other functionalities that relate to this, right? That's so encouraging. The people in their right minds will be accepting of this. People who just want to hear themselves tell other people, hey, listen to me. Just a rant. It wouldn't bother me. You're getting attention to that ship of your dreams, right? And that's boost of morality, man. The lag is real. But yeah, that functionality, I would have to go back and when we get base building, right? So the other aspects of base building, we're talking about farming, literally like horticulture and growing of flora, fauna. Now you're talking about the hydroponics area for the Endeavor, right? Once you have the framework for flora to grow on your plot of land, you immediately say that is an immediate similarity to the Endeavor. But now I'm placing it within the ship's structure. I'm growing within the ship's structure, right? Now you're talking about applying. There it is. Oh, they have to RAM print. But here's the thing. I said this earlier before you dropped in. We need to show stability, meaning servers integrity has to hold up. Listen to Pedro, man. I'm gonna be quiet for a second. Beautiful, man. Yeah, we were talking about Will Haynes. Yep, Will Haynes. Dude, he's stuck with it. He's embraced it. Senior engineer, man. We were talking about the example of him coming on board, and it went from one river to two to many to hundreds, and that's it. It's like, okay, where is he? He pops back up, says it's going direct. Hey, Will Haynes, known as River Guy. Yeah, Planetary Tech 5. Yes, it's Genesis. Yeah, it's Genesis now. And we were like, what? Good for him, man. I'm literally happy for him. So happy for him. Came aboard. I mean, he got down to business, man. And it was just them letting him, acclimate you know, getting familiar with owning, improvising, and making it his own. Wet Willie, yep. Dub. W-Dub. Q-Dub. Oh no. Voice Master. You guys are horrible. But he loves it. He loves the banter. But he's in a great place because he's happy with what he's doing. And it shows, right? The results are in. And I think that speaks for not just Will. He's a measure of example of all the devs who come in and sit down and say, I'm inspired, I play video games, and this is a chance for me to take the helm and really go beyond and just go nuts with it, right? That was the same thing with Elliot. Really? Coffee is horrible. And yes, he hates coffee. That's why he's called Coffee. He hates it. But Wet Willie loves Wet Willie. River Guy, Dirt Guy. Senior Engineer Will Hain. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's just an example of many, if not thousands, of course, right? Who will come through those doors and make it their own. And it's just, right, there you go. Yeah, Elliot Maltby, right? I was like, what? His first project was Siege of Orson, right? That potential with devs, man. But let's give credit. Let's give proper credit to the leads that give them support, right? And allow them that space, which also in turn goes back to, you know, Aaron, Chris, being those mentors, and heralding in a new generation of developers that's to come, right? But most importantly, it's the support of this community that made that happen. That's the amazing part, that collectively we brought this to the forefront with our support and passion. Can't make it up. That dream, man, a positive one too. Inspiring, man. Art imitates life. Hope is here. Yes. And that's, man, good point, Rampant. Great point. That it states it, and the song is expressive of that. And that's and I didn't think about that. I did see that spray painted statement, right? But I did not correlate that with the song, that writing on the wall to the song until you made that mention, and it says the intent was spot on with Pedro. Genius, man. To convey that message, for you to, you know, speak it, to me feel it and express it. Again, the community, the synergy of the developers and the community. Whew. It's man, it's amazing, dude. I just love it. Now you got me looking for the damn sign, man. Come on. Oh man. These ships are out here, man. Look at that Apollo. We were just talking about you, Apollo. Star Lancer out there. It's got Microtech on it. We got that man. You can feel it. What air? You better not take your helmet off. I'm just trying to be funny. Yeah, it's gonna draw us back. Oh, who you calling an old timer? Look at that. That Paladin, man. Anvil. For me, it turned out to be the tack over this because of a damn toilet, man. No, the med bed. The med beds. I'm sorry. Look at that. Oh, my ship disappeared. Or is that just that could be desync and lag though. There's that Idris Vickers, or one that was like it. Oh, they're docked. Look at that. This is how huge this place is, man. They can't resist Ramprint. Because it speaks to the dream of what if, what could be. And it's just like here I can come down. Oh, speaking of which, oxygen pins, right? Let me see if there's gravity on the rocks. Let's see. Yeah, I think now's the time for which they call dynamic server meshing. Now it's the thing of advanced server meshing. I've seen that narrative, that description. You know what would be cool here? If we could use gravity on these rocks and we can walk on them, and you have hand mining. You can do hand mining on the larger rocks. How cool would that be? The ships are out here, man. With the tack taking off. Oh, somebody's box. Let me see. Oh, I'm at 24%. Let's see if I can. I should have an oxygen pen. Let me see. Oh, damn. Did I just do that? Okay. Citizens stopped running unexpectedly. Game error code 34896600927. Crash digest. Okay. Let me cancel. Let's see if I can just jump in. I used the med pen and it crashed on me. Oh, the shipjacking Ramprint. Now, when you say that, I immediately think of Maelstrom. They have quite a few systems and gameplay features for 2026. It's enough to make your head spin, and I think it's going to require in all the skill sets of the devs. The good news is the hopes are the Squadron 42 teams will be released to come help with those aspects of the game that's needed. Waiting on that next wave, y'all. Which I hear, aren't they working on the Legionnaire? Isn't that the boarding? Yeah, that's the boarding ship that was on the Silhouette. One of those ships. What, 2 weeks? We're talking about IAE. There's going to be conversation of IAE in 2 weeks. Literally in 2 weeks. Or less than. IAE pomp and opulence reeks of empire in decline. Corporatocracy eager to pacify the masses with annual aerospace event. While the masses may be satisfied to gather and gawk at the latest offerings from the various military-industrial complex stooges like Aegis Dynamics and Anvil Aerospace, this year's grotesque pageantry of parading war machines to a population left bereft of the security promised to them by their failing government demonstrates concretely that the UEE's days are numbered. This is to the narrative of like this is the empire on its last leg. This falls into the narrative of the lore. Exactly. Now we're seeing the details of it. So you might have some rebels. You might have some so-called self-proclaimed freedom fighters, potentially. Could that be the overlords? Could that be the overlords? No telling. Food pantry charity drive a success. Donations to assist those affected by recent vandal raids. Oh my gosh, yes, the economy. I'm back, y'all. Grand print. I thought it, but you said it. I thought it and you said it. Wow. Woo. Nothing exists outside Levski. See how much NASA charges to build me the best PC in the world. Gonna come back when the FPS is much higher. Gonna come back when the FPS is much higher. It'll trash your inventory as well. Waka said they removed the option ASAP. No PCs are being tortured. There's nothing here to torture them. My GPU is idling, so I'm surprised the game runs. I'm at close to 90% overall utilization on my 7800X3D. Let me see if I can use... I brought oxygen pens, so I want to test that too. So I used this and it crashed. Okay, let's see. Okay, didn't want to turn on the light. Okay, let's see here. Put this away. Yeah, look at that crashing, y'all. It's crashy. Uh-oh. It's crashy. Hey, when Luke Skywalker came home and found his home burned and family killed and immediately joined the resistance and blew up the Death Star, we all cheered. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see that. Let's see. So it's apparently it seemed like as I use items, utility items, it will crash. Seems like it. Levski. Yeah, but again, the air filter repair work completed. With the new filters installed, people across Levski should now be able to breathe easier. Sounds familiar? Think about, what was it? The Arnold Schwarzenegger movie when they were on Mars. And it was like they were this company was trying to keep everyone on their air filtration system. Oh man, altered, what it was, oh my god. Now I gotta look it up. Total Recall. Yes, there you go, Ramprint. You beat me. Julie Race, you beat me to it. Yeah, I had to look it up. Okay, yeah, Total Recall for sure. That whole narrative here with the air system and having to go in, and I think you might have some radicals here that will try to damage or block air or something. You know, I wonder. Okay, I'm still here. Let me see if I can use the oxygen pen. Utility, let's see if it's here. Oxypen, there it is. I'm gonna arm it so I can go to it. Okay, I have 2. There it is. Okay, so oxygen. Oh, it's not an oxygen issue. It's my. I better get inside. Oh, now my ship is... No, that's the Shiv. I haven't seen the Shiv in game. My CPU smells like it's burning. Burnski. My PC is fine. i9 13400, 3090 Ti, 32 gigs, DDR. I guess my potato don't like it. Look at the desync. Yeah, I'm getting 8 to 9 FPS, GPU 28%, 35%, CPU 60, 80% in Levski with 3950, 2080 Ti, 64 gigs, Athlon and Radeon, 212 FPS in NICs, no issues. What? Well, I'm going to try this on Vulcan. Wish me luck. Spawned in NICs. Holy frame rate, Batman. Oh, that's the hangar. Better find a way in and fast. Oh wow, that 400's taking off. The elevator. Oh man, wait a minute. Oh snap. I thought he was gonna, oh snap, he's looking to kill me. Oh snap. Okay, or not. Let's see. Yep. He might try to. Let's see. Oh snap. Oh, he blew up. Oh my gosh. Holy smokes. Whoa. I think he might have he lagged himself to death. Death by lag. Seriously, that might be death by lag. Oh shit. Ooh, back up. Oh man. Oh snap. It's getting nuts out here now. I think people are those are hangars down there, right? Let's see if I can get inside through the hangar itself. Oh, just lay in his med bed. A hot med bed if he lands. Yeah, he didn't make it. That was not a good landing. He didn't walk away from that one. He quantum from that one. Okay, let's see if I can get inside the... Okay, 18%. Will I survive? Uh-oh. I saw shadows, man. Okay, this one's a little closer. Let's see. Might give me access. But once they... Oh, snap. I could have went in there. I'm not going to make it. Oh, crap. Oh, that ship's going in. Oh, snap. Whoa. Lurch Lord. 07. Thank you for the follow. Space Tomato, oh my god, did you guys rate? Same music we were hearing in game. 07 Space Tomato. So what do you think, sir? Do you think we're there yet? Do you think it's about stability and then optimizations, or do you think they need to optimize first? Oh man, yeah, it's exciting that they're going for it, they're pushing for it, right? But I think, or I'm hoping that this patch will kind of address what's happening now, because it's going to be hard to interact. And thank you for the raid, Space Tomato. Holy smoke, Space Tomato, that was a raid. Thank you, man. 07. Oh my god. How you doing, man? Yeah, yeah, hopefully it's all hands on deck, Space Tomato, because literally we have about less than 2 weeks to go with IAE being introduced, and you want to be live for that event. So I think it may be all hands on deck throughout the weekend and the coming week and a half, to get to that landing point or that sweet spot of, hey, we have the basis for live. Now we're ready to introduce ships and potentially maybe get another server to alleviate the heavy traffic that is Lagski, as it is termed right now. Get some lunch, man. What's for lunch? Don't say fried tomatoes. Tomato soup. Don't say tomato soup. Don't say tomato bisque. Don't say spaghetti and marinara sauce. The whole C's are back. Yep. They're working on B as well. B is being worked on. Yeah, balance. Always coffee. It's about balance. And I think with, the rigors of work and things, the external aspects of life and its stresses and anxieties and all that comes to the table, I think Star Citizen helps with that balance, just to get in and have some fun and interact and just take your mind away from the stressors of life. It's a good balance point. But then also there's the internal part of that, of the self-care. Correct, coffee, taking the time, like taking the bio break, stretching your legs, getting, what it was the expression, putting your feet on grass and things of that nature, right? And then coming back, or maybe Star Citizen burnout of the expectations of not being met, and you say, okay, I need to break away so I don't become so frustrated, and you come back and say, yeah, this is a marked improvement, because you have to give the devs time because there's so many moving parts, and this is not it is not the easy button on regards to bringing in something new, making it work the first time. This is literally them building their engine out and building it to a custom state or aspect of how Chris wants certain things to work. That's custom, and that's not built into the engine. But the advantage is, once it's established, it's their own. The other advantage is, if it becomes stale or it becomes mundane, they can go back and reiterate. That's the beauty of why we're here, why we see this as a something unique experience, the Star Citizen experience. Someone needs to hydrate bad. I know, Lurch Lord, really bad. I gotta find a spot where I can take off my helmet, and this is not it. And my EVA is just slow. I'm trying to find a point or a spot where I can get inside, and I'm like lost in lag ski. It's beautiful though. It's a beautiful way to go out though. Shimpasta 07. This is Nix, aka Lagski, aka Levski. Yes, we're here. I'm trying to find a way in before I'm kaput. Look above here and see above this piping system. What is that elevating? It's like a... Oh, that's the MISC ship. The C. Or is it? Yeah. I gotta find a little landing area, a pad or something. This place is huge. Holy smokes. Never been to either one, huh? This is this audio now is sharing on its expansiveness. Just, it's a huge spot, a huge place. Oh, 14%. Wow. See, I tried using my oxygen pen or med 13. Nope, that does not work. It's not gonna help me. Oh, if I could get inside that ship, I'll gladly die and have him shoot me in his hangar. I would not be mad at him. Oh, I'm crashing a lot. Yes, the grab gun. I'm gonna switch it out. Man, I'm crashing now. I'm starting to crash a lot. Says it's running. Okay, verify. I'm getting a lot of crashes. I think I might have. I'm sure I'm using DirectX, but then again, I'm not sure. I might have switched it over just to see if I could get some inklings of anything out of it. So I'll definitely have to switch back to DirectX because it's not the official. Well, the engineering will have it, but this isn't the official deal with Vulkan. I'll have to check. Oh man. Yeah, that could be the culprit. I just wanted to see what it would do because of the lag. Yeah, it's forcing a verification. But I'll get in the game and make that adjustment to DirectX 11. Yeah, the longer I think that fix will take, the better off we'll be with optimizations. I think they're hunting down the culprits to ensure that it plays a lot better. But I think it's going to be an all hands on deck weekend for them just to get it in the condition where it needs to be, so that they can prep and get ready for IEE and put assets in for that event, populating it with, the interiors, the building, the ships, and getting that ready. Yeah, I'm going to see which one is on Rand, and that would be a good idea, just to flip it, right? Flip it over to the other one. Get as much FPS as I can get. Because it makes it harder to actually uncover what bugs are existing, because you're lagging and you can't really interact with much, or you're unable to see properly what's going on with things that you interact with because you're trying to fight through the lag. That's important too, but good thing. Well, I was going to say stability, but I've crashed a few times. But let me just make sure that it's not an issue with Vulkan or the DirectX, whichever I have turned on. Still verifying. There we go, almost there. Yeah, Chris was like, yeah, it's not gonna be next year, it's gonna be next month for we were like, okay, let's go. All right, let's see. I'll take a look at, and I have the other tractor beam, which you can change over to like a grapple for science. Let's go. Yes. Let's see what happens. Let's go, let's go. Here we go. Start engine. All right, let's see. Here we go. Get in. Let's go. Okay, I'm going to pull up the graphics settings and The Vandal. I have not seen the Vandal yet in the game. I think that's the segue or the introduction of, hey, Squadron 42. This is what you're gonna see at some point. I suspect I wonder if we'll see them at the latter half of the first chapter, the first mission of the first chapter, or the finishing of the first chapter when we receive when they release it, presumably next year. But I would not be surprised if it's like towards the end of 2026 or December. I'm okay with that. That tells me they utilized or took advantage of the time frame for 2026 to the max, and making sure that it's polished and where it needs to be, so that it is a rare proper release for video games. You know, first time in a long time, or very few times. I'm sure there's a few games that shipped and they were really, really good from the initial drop. Right, they want to be in that pantheon, and so much is hedged on the success of it that you don't want this to be the backup plan. Oh snap. Okay, let me see if I can get in that. Oh crap. I don't have a freaking module. Dang it, man. 9%. Crap. See if I can get there. Oh man, I'm looking hazy now. My vision is blurred. Oh my god, is that not look at that. Closing right on me. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Tractor beam. There it is. Crashy like, it's super crashy. And it could be, I need to get that. I need to see what it is, DirectX or Vulkan. I think it's Vulkan. I have Vulkan on. I honestly don't remember, but I knew I went in there and I flipped, changing out one of them. I think that's how we're wired for this game. We try to look for these solutions and these workarounds. That's the game. That's truly the game. That's truly the game of Star Citizen. The workarounds. Okay. Can I check it here now? Nope. Because it will have to relaunch anyway. Check the graphics mode. Okay. I won't do any functions. I got 9%. I got 9%. Okay, let's see. Well, the good news is I'll spawn back at Mix. That's the good news. Hello, quantum technology. We talked about the science and medical. It's got to get to another dynamic level. We're talking about cybernetics. We're talking about artificial limbs, battle scars, markings of battle that show or is displayed. You know, when you talk about entering into Death of the Spaceman, that degradation of your adventures will show up on you, the person, in game. That directly affects medical. That's connected to medical on a different level. It's like they're cousins, right? But yeah, cybernetics. now they've dismissed that. Oh, if I get cybernetics, am I enhanced? No, they're like, no, this isn't cyberpunk. We're not gonna do that. But it's just a replacement. Uh-oh. Ooh-wee. It does not like it. Crash the desktop. PTU. Submit. All right. Oh, shoot. You said I could check it now. No, let me get in there. Oh. I think we'll probably get that patch later this evening. Thank you for your submission. They did receive it. I want to take a look to see what mode it is in. Am I able to do it now? There we go. There we go. So, look, Direct 3D. Yikes. Should it be this, not DLSS? That's probably, that could be the conflicting thing. You've been hit by, you've been struck by the Star Citizen. See? Oh my gosh, man. All right, let's see. I brought it to TSR, not the DLSS. Let's see what happens. Enter. Okay. Then if that's not working, then definitely I'm going to try Vulkan. I don't know why. For science. I think it might have it has to do with that TSR, because it's like, how are you having DirectX 11 and DLSS? It doesn't work like that. It's like having the best of both worlds if it works. It's like, no. Let's see, and if it crashes, then I'm going right change it all to Vulkan. At some point, we will not be using DirectX 11 anymore, and it's on the horizon. It's a part of the engineering test that they have the actual working functional version of Vulkan in it, but not in 4.4. Oh, I was on AMD soft hardware, but Vulkan was a lot smoother for me. Ah, gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, I noticed it in engineering. There was no micro hitches at all in Vulkan. I was like amazed. Yeah, I was amazed. No micro hitches. Oh shit, not again. It's gonna squash me. It's gonna squash me. Oh, make it. Oh, I made it. Oh, I made it. Uh-oh, get ready for the fall. Oh, yes. Repositioning player. Oh, because I was in his hangar. Oh, crap. Leaving private property. Okay, just put me inside, baby. Just put me inside. Is it? Ooh, oxygen. Yes. Take off that helmet. Oh, happy day, man. Okay, let's get some sustenance. Oh my gosh. Come on now. You know you want to drink, man.
Trying to be the bad guy, but you got...
There we go. Wait for it. There we go. Oh, wow.
What are you stopping for? Move along, buddy.
Someone said Levski is so goddamn cool. Anyone else crashing when attempting to turn down screen resolution? So I can't believe I'm in Nyx. The belt is gorgeous, they're saying. All right. But Ramprint, I'm going to change it to Vulcan and see what happens. Okay, borderless. Let's go Vulcan. Oh boy. DLSS. We'll see.
What are you stopping for? Move along, buddy.
I have 100 FPS in Levski. Somebody's lying, man. That's a unique piece of armor. Look at that. Get some more. Some drink.
You having a good one?
There's plenty of places you can
Oh
stand
crap!
still.
I didn't want to throw stuff
This ain't
away.
one.
It went under.
Anything I can help you with?
Oh, it's super lag. Yeah, it froze on me. That didn't apply. Oh, it's. Let's see. Yeah, Vulcan.
Just gonna stand there.
Grab another one.
Open up as much. You got time to talk. You got time.
Getting by. My son was supposed to come visit me, but had to cancel last minute. That was hard. But otherwise, I'm fine.
Gotta relaunch. Yep.
Doing business, I guess.
All right, let me get this drink in. Okay, let's see here. Someone was saying they're getting 87 frames per second in 4K in the game. I guess that's okay. I don't know, man. Oh, they're 1.6 gigameters away from Levski. Of course. Yeah, the lag is making it do that, Ramprint. Making the avatar sip. I'm holding it now and it's supposed to drink, but it's the lag that's making it believe I'm just tapping it. It's beautiful, man. I mean, it is beautiful. We're back. I think it's a non-issue with anything that's surrounding Levski. It's just the landing zone, or maybe the back end. I don't know. It's something to do with that landing zone, and got the landing zone itself. And it makes you wonder: is that the original Grand Barter from back in the day? And they built around it. I wonder, and it does it show that it's not really compatible with what we have in game. I don't know. It makes you think that is a possibility. And they're patching it in. 2028 for Grand Theft Auto 6. I can see that happening. There's no game that requires or have a need for going super high end just to get 100 FPS. Yeah, I think with that said, your point taken, to kind of put it in perspective with Star Citizen, if you have a decent rig, just give them the opportunity, wait on upgrading, knowing this is going to be your game, period, going forward. They're doing all the necessary things to ensure that it's going to be optimized and stable. So as new technologies come online, they're looking at how is it feasible for us. Of course, they're going to look at it with, maybe they're not going to waste resources, but they're looking to leverage a lot of different ways to ensure that this plays well. So at some point, they're going to make this breakthrough that we're going to be like, hey, you remember when, they released Levski and it was just like the old Levski? We call it Lagski. Yeah, I remember that, man. And we're 4 or 5 systems in and we were just thinking like, yeah, it just took them a minute, but they got it figured out. It's going to happen. It's no way. This is not acceptable on their standards of what's supposed to happen. Whatever the solution is, whether it's like, fixing the code, the net code, or actually adding an extra server or a combination of all those things, they know that they're going to get it dialed in. No doubt about it. Exactly, Rampart. AMD has made some strides, I think. And, Intel, I guess it's self-imploded because it had all the issues with its processor and the motherboard's not working well with the error coding and it's just like, it just made AMD more of a foundational go-to. Yeah, and SC does run great on good patches. And I think we've yet to see Vulkan, which some of us, quite a few of us have yet to see fully implemented Vulkan, right? It is much better. It is much better. It's noticeably better, not super dramatic. It's not dramatically better, but it is noticeably better. One thing you can see, or what's gone, are those micro hitches. Also, we're still waiting on what was, I guess, formerly known as dynamic, but now I think it's advanced server meshing. I think that's the new moniker. I think it was on the monthly report. They used that name. Or it could have been Jump Point. I don't know. It could have been one of them. But that's where I've noticed that definition. Yeah, better thought out system supporting foundational pieces to help make it come across much better. Let's see. Okay, it restart. Okay, it's optimizing shaders. I guess that's a good sign, right? I'm trying to see where I did see that that definition change. And I think they've been working on it. Making it better. That's the what was formerly known as dynamic server meshing. I'm trying to see. Oh, those shaders are loading big time. See here. I was looking for that monthly report, if it had it in there. Yes. They say let the shaders build out. You don't want to jump in there and the shaders are not completed. Roadmap. It's not in roadmap. %. Or spectral organization. Let's see. You realize, like, next month it's going to be the last month of 2025? Holy smokes, man. Okay, I see the monthly report. Make sure I'm not missing this. Okay, so it's still for online technology. They're still using dynamic server meshing terminology, but I've read it somewhere where it did say advanced. At least we got Nix. I think it might be something sneakingly and quietly thrown in by December. I wonder. Yeah, the network team progressed towards the first iteration of their new server meshing technology, which will be moving into initial testing in early November. Hello. While players will not experience any significant changes, this is an important first step in laying down the groundwork towards dynamic server meshing. So, yeah, server meshing could go well into next year. The initial testing. So, we'll probably get a heads up on that for that testing. That it's going to happen. It hasn't happened yet. No notification that it says early November. We're 1 week into it. So, yeah. That all right. Okay, we're done. So we set that right. Interstar Citizen. And then next year we're getting the planets to Nyx. That's another part to Nyx 1. In this Vox Populi, the voice of the People's Alliance. Populi. Popul 1, Populi. Nyx 1 transformation shows progress. Nascent oceans and atmosphere now present. Oh wow. Despite not bothering to seek permission from the People's Alliance to test their experimental technology in our system, the change that Genesis terraforming has wrought upon the Nyx 1's former harsh surface in just a short time frame is undeniable. We're going to see those features from CitizenCon Direct on Nyx 1. Yep, we're going to see that next year. I'm not going to say, I didn't say early next year, but next year. For sure. A certainty. A certainty. All right, it's it's like it's spinning, it's spinning, it's spinning, and it's wondering. Come on, Nix. Come on, Nix. But yeah, I'm gonna do a podcast. I think I spoke with Twix about that. He reached out to me and maybe speak on some things regarding it basically is just conversation on Star Citizen. You might want to tune in on that, but I'm gonna save some of my conversation that I would usually say here, but I think I'll use it as ammo for that podcast. Can be some interesting conversation pieces, and I think there's some aspects or some things that I think you might want to hear in regards to what's going to really bring Star Citizen to the forefront of why we're here. A certainty. I kind of like this feel. It's not Grim Hexy. It's not Grim Hex. It's used. It's worn, but it's not nasty. You know. It's not just filthy and just yeah. This is off right there. That shouldn't be there. And Grim Hex is just all kinds of nasty. I think that's due for overhaul for sure, right? Grim Hex. And I would love to see its functionality come out in a way that it makes sense for why it's there. And it has an ecosystem that makes sense. Yeah, not trashy, but lived in. Yeah, this is like the old school, like when you're not having a good day from the old school Star Citizen, where it's like, it was on average of like 15 frames per second back in those days. And it's like, you just work with it. You just dealt with it. Oh crap, it's frozen. So, wow. But the thing is, I've just upgraded my graphic drivers. Okay, it's doing its thing now. See, it keeps sipping. Oh gosh. I know, right? Pray that it comes back. I think I'm gonna go the ways of getting something for lunch, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pass the mantle to someone I know. Let's go to let's see if I can raid DJ Knight. It'll work. But I'm gonna come back. I might go into what I might jump into live potentially, but I'm gonna wait for that new patch to come through and give it a go. But I'm gonna take a lunch break. 07 coffee. I'm gonna give DJ Knight
I'm helping out with public sanitation this week.
a knock on the door.
Pleasure of waking up at the crack of dawn and cleaning out the trees for everyone. So problem
Let's
is
see.
only a few of us would know.
Okay, it's been created. Say hello and drop by and say, DJ, hey, what's up? I said, what up, fool? But I'm gonna come back because I'm gonna wait for that patch. This is for me. This is a balance of work and play. I gotta have me some Star Citizen this weekend. I know you don't know what you're asking for, Kimmy. No, you don't know what you're asking for. I am. Let's raid this fool. 07 everybody. I'll see y'all in a few when we get something to eat. Much love to you guys, gals, everyone. Thank you so much for stopping in. For the moment, I'm coming back. Come on, Chris. Let's get this thing going, y'all. All right, y'all. 07s. Much love. Here we go. We're raiding. Okay, there it is. It rated 07.
Because those were blue options. Those were Paragon choices. And those Renegade choices. So we need to check and see if I need to upgrade something with Paragon or Renegade real quick. Like, because no. So here's what I'm going to do.